Hi, I'm Ned Bangs, and I have with me Steve Goodhue. We're members of the Marshfield Recreation Trails Committee. And on behalf of the RTC and following the recommendations of the Comprehensive Trails Plan, final report dated July 15th, 2016 by BL Companies, we're going to share our vision for the rail trail and the bridle path. And Sean, if you want to bring up the last slide. Yep, that one. So the path, the rail trail, and the bridle path, it's about a 3-mile section from basically CVS in downtown Marshfield to Station Street, right near Summer Street. And we just want to share with you our vision for this network, the backbone of the trails in Marshfield. And first of all, we appreciate the strong show of support at the April town meeting. The approval of the article marks the beginning and will kick off a series of outreach with town departments, including the police, the fire, DPW, conservation, planning, town administrator, as well as the butters, the horse community, and residents prior to finalizing and implementing any plans. Last year, in 2018, the RTC held some community walks, including 3 on the rail trail bridle path. And the walks were popular, and they were promoted through the Lifelong Learning at the COA, the Rec Department, MCTV, and the Marshfield Mariner. This year, 2019, the community walk started April 8th, and many folks really enjoyed the Webster Wilderness Walk that we had in May. The Trails Committee would like to make the bridle path and the rail trail safe and accessible to all residents, create parking for vehicles, bikes, horse trailers, and develop an ongoing education program for all trail users. The RTC walks are typically limited to 8 individuals aged 12 or older with a parent, and they're led by members of the RTC and friends. And speaking about the RTC, my good friend Steve is going to talk to you a little bit about member openings that we have.
That's right. Thanks, Ned. So we currently have one opening. We're a 7-member committee that also includes some town advisors from the planning board and the conservation and the CPC. What we have a situation now is we are in need of another member. We'd like to get up to full strength, which is 7, because we'd like to have an odd number so that when we're taking votes, it's not going to be a 3-3 decision. It's going to be hopefully a 7-0 decision, because we like to have consensus. Anyway, the committee's focused on recreational opportunities for residents and visitors to the town. To date, we have 2 projects that have been approved. First one's ongoing, and we have a number of signage going up for certain trails in the town. The second project is what Ned was just talking about, that 3-mile trail that would go from downtown CVS to Standish Street. And what we're doing for the trails is looking to put up signage so people like myself won't get lost on a trail, which I've done a number of times. Also making some trail improvements. If there's too many routes going around something, we might want to try to fix them up a little bit. And we're also looking to improve the awareness of the town for the various trails that we have, which Ned was talking about some of the walks that we've done with various groups. That's kind of like in Marshfield Mariner articles that we've had done for us by those guys to help make more people aware of the trails. And I can see, I've been on the committee for about 2 years now, and all of a sudden I can see some of that, the results of that awareness already starting to happen as more and more people are getting out there, taking out their kids, taking out their dogs, just going out by themselves. So anyway, we do have an opening. We meet the second Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. at Town Hall. There's a second floor planning office, and that's where we meet. And we occasionally meet the 4th Wednesday of a month in case we have too much stuff going on that can't get handled at the first meeting. If you're interested in joining us, please contact the Marshfield Board of Selectmen's office at Town Hall, and that's at the second floor, 870 Moraine Street. Or you can call their office, 834-5563, and you can request an application, which you get completed, and they'll take a look at that, and then they forward us any members they think might be able to serve, what we need. We're also looking just for people to attend the meetings, because it gives us an opportunity to get some feedback from other folks that might have some thoughts about what we're doing, and it can help us improve scope and design and the like. We've already seen something happening already with this 3-mile trail that we're talking about that runs from CVS to Standard Street. So that's all I got. What we generally do with a project, and we're starting to work on a third project that'll, we're working on a scope. We'll identify one, then we're going to work on what the scope might be. And we've just kind of started that effort and looking at maybe get it finished off in the next few months. But what we generally do with one of those projects that we'll define the scope, define the requirements, come up with a budget, and then after it's approved, we can just go forward with the design, development, and implementation of whatever that project might be. There you go. Thanks.
All right, so we'll take you kind of briefly through a little presentation that we have, shows some slides on of the plan for the rail trail and the bridle path. So, Sean, if we can start, so this is the first one. We prepared it for town meeting, and we'll hit the next slide, which is, we talked about following the plans that the BL companies have that did the comprehensive trail study, and it's for Marshfield, it's for residents, opening up to horseback riding, bicycling, walking, jogging, Nordic skiing, those types of things on the trail. Some of the highlights on the next slide is, so highlights and big wins. Its long-term goals, linkage to town center. The Bridle Path rail trail, it's kind of the spine of the trail system, leads right through the middle of Marshfield. And it's an important step with Marshfield's master plan and open space and recreation plans. The next slide, Sean. So this details some of the costs that we have for engineering, stone dust, safety improvements. So we know that the trail crosses several roads, including South River Street, Ferry Street, Grove Street. We want to make it safer, so we need to work with police, DPW, fire department to come up with a plan, maybe some striping, some signage, safety improvements, so vehicles that are driving on those roads, as well as people that are walking or riding or horseback riding, will know that there's a road coming up. And the next slide, Sean, if you would. Yeah, so this is stairs that lead from the rail trail by CVS. Those stairs go down to the Pratt property, and it brings you out onto Willow Street. And it's a very nice walk. And so this next slide shows the rail trail and the Bridle Path is mostly flat, level trail system. We're looking for some improvements to make sure it's level all the way, some stone dust clearing. Where we can, we'd like to make it 10 feet wide, so if you're on horses or you're riding a bike, there's enough room to pass each other. We're also going to work on some ongoing education, so people know what's courtesy when you're approaching horses, or what's courtesy when you're approaching someone riding a bike, and that'll be an ongoing process. Next one, Sean. So this is another highlight of the rail trail. This is the Keble Bridge, and there's a ramp that leads to the water. So it's great for sitting down there at the dock, or you can bring your kayak or canoe, tie it up, go to CVS and shop downtown, hit back, and head out to the river again. And if you really want some peace and quiet, you can sit on this very cool bridge that the Goodwill Hunters donated, and it's very peaceful out there. The next slide shows just another view of the trail. So it used to be an old railroad trail in Marshfield until the late 30s, and it stopped. And the town was, actually the Board of Selectmen was selling off sections of the trail. And the town meeting back in 1951, in their wisdom, reversed that power. And now we have a bridle trail and a rail trail, which is very cool. And speaking about the trail, we have some more slides on a walk that we have coming up on July 18th. And those slides will be coming up shortly. There we go. So on Thursday, July 18th at 6 o'clock, the Trails Committee has a planned walk of the rail trail and the Pratt property. And we'll leave from this kiosk is in the back of the CVS parking lot. And we can go to the next slide. You can see that the trail is kind of flat. There's some stone dust down there now. It's very compacted. It hasn't, that stone dust has been there probably 5 years now, and it hasn't eroded. It's held up really well, and it's great for baby carriages or bikes with skinny tires to go on it. Hikes are usually, typically about 8 to 10 people sign up. Kids age 12 and older with a parent are welcome. The walks are free. We do accept donations to help us with some improvements that we want to make for bike racks and benches. You can sign up with the Recreation Department, and their phone number is 781-834-5543. And the good folks down there, Nancy or Craig, will answer the phone. They'll be glad to help you out. And speaking of helping you out, the RTC does partner with a lot of different groups in town. We Are Marshfield helped us out in April to clear a lot of the Pratt rail trail and the Pratt property. Local Boy Scouts have been instrumental in clearing properties and Eagle Scout projects. The Marshfield Building Construction class is responsible for the wooden kiosks that we have. And we're starting a process with the Senior Center, their senior tax relief program that seniors that are 60 and older that own property in town will be able to work off some of their property tax by doing some work, volunteer work, to help out with the trails, maintaining them. And we hope to see you on the trail. So again, if you'd like to sign up for one of the trips, call the Recreation Department, 781-834-5543. Thank you.